You accomplished more, but you mentioned a goal. So let's say that the second day you come to work, the boss indicates now there's a goal. How do you feel about this goal? This is the day's goal. Well, now wait a second. They were doing about 150 each, right? In a 4-hour period. They're asking for 600. Is that a big deal? No. What about if the third day you come in and it says, I don't know if you can read that. I don't have good colors up here. Everybody read what that says? 1,000. 1,000?
Oh, no.
What are you going to do?
We need help.
We need help.
Brother, sister, cousin.
So you go to the boss and you say,
yeah, well, how can we do this better? We want to make a $1,000 goal, but, we're only 2 people, and we're doing the best we can.
So you're not going to argue with him about the 1,000?
Well, being an overachiever, no, probably.
Okay, well, there you go. So what are you girls going to do?
We'll try to make it happen. Yes.
Yeah. Like you might convince them to put the Coke bottles on a table.
Right.
You'd have to bend down. Maybe you could do more quickly. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you're going to innovate, right? Right? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for our innovators today. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So when did you know that they were going to succeed? There were 2 new girls on the job. When did you know they were going to succeed? I'm sorry? When they knew that's when they knew they were going to succeed. Absolutely. When they knew what was expected. When did you know they were going to excel? When they accepted a challenge? What?
They were feeling that confidence, the competitiveness.
Yeah. Any other comments, ideas? They motivated. Did you know they were going to succeed at 600? Yeah. Why? You had some evidence. Did you know they were going to succeed at 1,000? Oh, I see some heads. Yes, I see some heads. Why do you think they were going to succeed at 1,000?
Because they made the choice to talk to the boss about it and see how they could make that happen.
And if they came up with a good story on innovation, would you believe them? Or at least you'd let them try. What if you were a funder? Depends. Okay, very interesting. A lot to think about here. Now, how did the story they had to tell their folks and little brother when they got home change between the morning and the afternoon? What would they have told in the morning?
Boring.
Oh, it was so hot. And, oh, God, I didn't know my first job was going to be like that. What story would they tell in the evening? It was fun?
How fast they went.
What do you think Sarah would have said? She would have said, I am the best. What would the team have said? If they got together and they were talking to all their friends together, what would they have said? We are the best. We improved this much. We can do this much. They now have a story. So let's move on and see how this applies in a nonprofit situation with some actual nonprofits. Hopefully this is a good illustration of the main principles that we'll be dealing with today. Key question here is, what is success? Now, and how do you know when you've achieved it? Let's say that you're Qualcomm. Anybody here ever worked for Qualcomm? Yeah, okay. How do you know when Qualcomm succeeds? Well, what if the stock goes down? Are they not succeeding?
They tell you about it.
That's when you succeed. They tell you about it. What if they don't tell you about it? Are they not succeeding?
It depends on the measurement.
Okay. So how do you know when Qualcomm succeeds?
Well, hopefully somebody communicates that to the people that need to know that.
They hit their financial target. They make money. Any company. You know they're succeeding if they're making money, right? What about a nonprofit? Does that work? It doesn't. Oh, that's true. It really doesn't work that way for a nonprofit. That is why it is so critical, if you're going to succeed as a nonprofit, that you define how you're going to succeed. And that defines how you're valuable. So let's take a look at another story. I like stories. I always remember the stories. Let's take a look at how we define success. Situation is Baltimore. Probably, I think it was about 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Baltimore had a real estate boom and real estate bust. They had a significant number of vacant houses in many neighborhoods. What's the concern? Crime. The neighborhoods will degrade. The homeowners that are there will see their values go down. It's a big problem. Everybody's concerned. Well, Baltimore also has a very large population of renters at this time, significant number of folks who can't afford homes. So they hatch a plan. Let's create a situation where all the renters can become homeowners. So what do? Big PR program, the chamber's all involved, it's great, metropolitan program. They bring in special financing from lenders with very low down payments. The program is a smashing success. Lots of renters become homeowners. What's the situation look like in 2 years? The number of foreclosures is very high, and you've got people who squat and live in homes that are pending foreclosure. Are the neighborhoods benefited? No. So what went wrong? It was a great goal that they had, wasn't it? Yeah. What was the outcome they should have looked for? And what would they have done differently if they had chosen that outcome? Any ideas?
What was the problem again?
They had a batch of vacant homes. They had a bunch of renters, people who weren't homeowners.
Sustainability.
Exactly. Exactly. What they wanted, the outcome they were looking for, is people to become happy homeowners that stayed in homes, took care of their homes, etc. So they probably, if they'd had that goal, would have had different initiatives, different things they focused on. They weren't focusing on just getting butts into houses, in other words. They probably had programs to teach people how to budget, how to repair and maintain a home, what's different as far as expenses you need to plan on between renting and owning, the long-term commitment, how you sell a home at the end, how you make money by owning a home, all those kinds of things that the renters may not have understood, especially if they didn't come from a family that ever owned a home. So the key thing here was that the definition of outcome, the end result, will determine your ultimate success. And you need to make sure that you're creating a meaningful change, obviously, positive impact. It's measurable and it's lasting. Now, I should mention here, too, for those of you who are from organizations that don't directly provide services, this is a little more difficult. You may not be changing the world, changing people's lives. It may be a museum, orchestra, that kind of thing. The key thing here in working to decide what you're trying to do is to make sure it's measurable and